gang. Hey, nothing but love and respect. You might have some cool fans, but mine are the best. We've been through it all, went to war when duty called. Never left a man behind, we move as one is super strong. I don't want followers, that implies I'm the leader. I'm not the captain, I just gave them something they can believe in. I hold the lamp in the darkness, but they're the light that I needed to see the road that we walk in between the angels and demons. And my fans have my back. Hate us if your feelings don't like facts. And my fans will fight back. Beat you with the keyboard you've been using to write back. I guess we need each other like both sides of the battery. We the army, we the homies, we the gang, we the cavalry. We're brothers and sisters, we hold it down like we gravity. Can't nobody break the bond that made us all family.
Me and my fans, we don't care what anybody say. Middle fingers to whoever in the way, man. Me and my fans, we gon' be together to the grave. It's a game till forever and a day, man. Me and my fans, we don't even trip in the hate. We got all in our veins, man. Me and my fans,
We the hangover gang. Gang, 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 gang.
Oklahoma weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
Hey everyone, Meteorologist Tuttle here with you. It is about 5 minutes till 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Thought I'd just do a quick Facebook Live tonight, just kind of bring you up to date what's going to happen here for your Sunday, as we are expecting a significant weather change. Some of you may have noticed it out there now, as the lovely weather we've had this afternoon in the last really couple of days has come to a tragic end. So a very strong cold front has kind of sneaked in, is dropping temperatures out there right now. We've also had some severe weather across other parts of the country, so it is severe weather season. We do have a little bit of a risk tomorrow here in the state, so we're going to talk about that here for tonight. So thanks for joining me. Give everybody another minute here to get checked in. Then we're going to get started, and we'll show you what the risks are and the locations and all that kind of jazz, right? All right, let's see. So let's see here. First thing on Facebook, let me give you guys the link again. If you're new here, you've been having some trouble with getting notifications when I do go live. You can tap this little link. I just posted in the comments section. You can get a direct message from me. You'll have to opt in every so often. In other words, there's 2 buttons to press once you get in there. One is watch live now, of course, and then one will be manage messages. You hit that way you're opted in for the next time I go. Like I said, you can get away with it probably for a couple of times before Facebook cries foul and stops showing it to you. So it's a workaround. See you guys on YouTube tonight. Thanks for checking in, by the way. Jim from Mustang, always in the house. And Mean Okie, I see you. So Miss loves the song. Gotcha. Tom McDonald fan, I see that. All right, guys on Twitter, thanks for checking in as well. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? First thing we'll talk about is the fact that we have cooled down. So I'm 54.5 degrees here at my Tempest weather station. So the wind has shifted around to the north-northwest there, as you can see, and that is not a pleasant direction if you want it to be warmer and milder. And that's just not quite going to happen. All right, well, here's what is going to happen. So we do have a risk of severe weather. So this is going to be across southeast Oklahoma, pretty much from just east of Ardmore, southeast of Ada, about up to around McAllister, and then down toward the Red River in the southeastern parts of the state. North and west Oklahoma, no threat at all. And it's going to be for some small hail, is really what I call it, up to quarter size. It's barely severe level. Same thing with the wind, up to 60. And the tornado potential is very low. So it's a very, very low risk. It's not a zero risk of severe weather, but it's pretty darn low, which, you know, I like those kind of low risks. We don't have to worry too much about it. But we're also going to get some rain out of it, so that's going to be some good news. Now, here's a look at the Tulsa area here as well. Their risk extends eastward into western Arkansas and in northwestern Arkansas as well. Tornado potential is a little higher there, but it's still on the low side. So, again, nothing too crazy, but make sure you have a plan in place, as we have had some tornadoes today in Iowa that did do some damage. And so it's kind of just a reinforcing reminder that it is that time of the year. Now, right now, over the entire state of Oklahoma, we have a lot of what we call dry air that's moved in. This is in the water vapor channel. Interesting to note, you can actually make out the cold front in this channel. This little tail end here with this little subtle boundary right here, that's the cold front moving in from north to south across the state. It's going to stall out in southeast Oklahoma, which is why the severe weather risk remains down there. But that will, needless to say, be the focus for some trouble. Now today, like we talked about, not bad. Seriously, for early March, how about that? Lots of 70s and 80s out there across the state. I would love to do that for you again tomorrow, but it's just not going to happen. If we do look at the temperatures tonight, you can see how they've dropped into the 40s, into the 30s, into northern and northwestern Oklahoma. Of course, still pretty mild down here in the southeast. Dew point values, quite a bit different. Our dew points went all over the place today. Started out very humid, but then that southwest wind kicked in, dried things out, kicked off a couple of wildfires, and the dew points dropped off. And then they dropped off again a different reason, because the front has brought in some dry air behind it. Southeast Oklahoma, though, these dew point values in the green numbers here are in the upper 50s, near 60, which again is some representative of that low level moisture you need to produce some severe weather. So we do look at the bigger category that does extend from Oklahoma through Arkansas and Missouri. This is a slight risk all the way down to Dallas-Fort Worth. And then when you break it down into different categories, the tornado risk, the 5% ring here across the northern parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, and just a little bit of eastern Oklahoma. Otherwise, kind of that light green, can't rule it out risk surrounding that region. The wind, a little bit bigger than that as far as the coverage goes, almost backs up to Oklahoma City. And then the hail, believe it or not, does back in Oklahoma City, just a little bit. Not for, again, big size hail, just a little tiny hail. But needless to say, that's what's on the docket. Now, we do kind of track in what kickstarts the lift in the atmosphere. We go to the 700 millibar chart, show you the vertical velocities. When you see the bright colors, indicates a lot of lift. What do you see coming through here about lunchtime here in the western parts of the state? And that indicates our first beginning round of some serious heavy rainfall, which is good. We need more rain, right? Anyway, that kind of moves on off to the east throughout the day into the evening hours. So there's 9 o'clock. There's midnight moving out into southeast Oklahoma and Arkansas. So it's a very short-lived system. It's not going to, stick around too long. And so what that will do is actually help to focus probably more the severe weather threat into, let's call it western Arkansas than so much Oklahoma. And that's just because if we look here, this is by, let's go to 21 Zulu, so about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Ideal shear profiles here in the northeastern Texas, southwestern Arkansas, very far southeastern Oklahoma, with Cape values up around 1,000 and 1,500 joules. And when you do that, and you do apply a forecast sounding for that, you do get a nice profile for potential tornadic storms. You have a nice little slinky appearance. Very nice smooth photograph up here. Let me scroll it down so you can see it a little better. So this is ideal structure in the atmosphere for tornado. Of course, the hazard possible type and the classic supercell structure. And the good news is the low end of the tornado risk seems to be on the analog data, maybe EF1 type tornado. So in other words, low end on the damage scale. But also some hail up to about 1 inch. So there you go. So that is kind of what's in the model data showing up for far southeast Oklahoma late tomorrow afternoon. And that, of course, extends eastward to Arkansas and northeast Texas. So that's why we have that risk from the Storm Prediction Center. And that's where most of the ingredients are going to lie. We talked about timing. Let's go ahead and get that for you. So if you are wondering, when is it going to rain tomorrow? Well, let's take a look. Remember that lift I showed you coming in around lunchtime out west? So here's 11 o'clock. Across western Oklahoma, you can see that rainfall developing, moving through Elk City, up to Woodward, and now up to Enid by 1 o'clock, and it does make its way into Oklahoma City area, probably just a little bit after lunch. So if you have some outdoor plans, you're going to be dealing with some scattered showers around. So there's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just scattered showers across the state. Little rumbles of thunder, maybe out across far eastern Oklahoma. There's McAllister. That's probably the first leading edge of some decent signature as far as some stronger storms. The models really don't get too excited about severe weather threat for tomorrow as far as its output is concerned, even though the parameters are there. It's kind of a weird place to be. When you normally would see a better representation of the atmosphere and the future reflectivity product, but we're not seeing it this time around. But there's 8 o'clock in the evening, there's 9 o'clock. Secondary around there lights up as the front gets a little extra kick. 10 o'clock at night there in southeast Oklahoma, 11 o'clock midnight tomorrow. And there's 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. It's out of the state. So that's the timing on how things will look. And I do have to tell you, if you live in northwest Oklahoma, and to flip this over, it's not just storms we're talking about. We're actually going to see a little light freezing drizzle and light freezing rain up here where it says purple. So that is going to be mixed in here, believe it or not, in the middle of the day. So late morning, early afternoon, there's going to be a little bit of light glazing that may happen on the bridges and overpasses. Just be careful if you're driving around, bebopping. You might get a quick glazing of ice on the roadways up here in northwest Oklahoma. So just keep that in the back of your mind. The rest of the state will not see any winter weather with this as it kind of moves on off to the north and east. This little batch move into Kansas. So same thing kind of goes for you guys in the afternoon. Just watch out for a little light glazing in the bridges and overpasses because that's where some of that may occur. So the best indications of that, again, is going to be kind of in this region, about like so. So just kind of be careful if you live in that area of north or northwest Oklahoma. Okay, so we talk about the tornado parameter, which is, in other words, the best opportunity to see a tornado. We go into Sunday afternoon. The colors are kind of congealed down here in the southeast Oklahoma, as we talked about, and western Arkansas. So that's where your best probability of seeing a tornado tomorrow. We talk about the rainfall. Now, of course, if you're going to need a little heavier thunderstorm, it won't be represented in this smooth data, but it will going to kind of give you the general trend, which is lighter amounts of rain in the west, moderate here central, and then a little heavier rain out here across eastern Oklahoma. Some amounts up here close to an inch with those heavier thunderstorms. So some good rains what we need once again for the drought. If you haven't had a chance, you're new, you can go to my website. You can check out the app tab on here. And it says AT's Weather to Go app overview. It also says direct Apple download and direct Android download. So if you haven't had a chance to get my weather app, it's free. It's called AT's Weather to Go. You can go to your Google Play Store or Apple Store right now and download it. It'll predict tornadoes before they actually develop, giving you more time to seek shelter. So it's always good to have in your arsenal for your spring severe weather season. All right, temperatures over the next few days. Like I said, hope you enjoyed the last few. These aren't so nice. We'll be into the 40s here for Monday and Tuesday for temperatures in the afternoon. Even Sunday, actually, we'll spend most of the day in the 40s also. You can see overnight lows into the 20s the next few nights. So if you were going to put some plants out, or you did, you're going to have to bring those back in. And then we'll start to warm things up a little bit on the 10th. Now, we did look at some data which indicated another push of some cold air across the country moving in through this period. So some of these numbers, we're going to have to double check on this. I didn't do any long range forecasting. Matter of fact, I haven't looked at anything since I did my blog on Sunday, which had alluded to another round coming in. But just for all intents and purposes, I want to give you up to date on Sunday as far as what you can expect, since it'll be so much different than today. Okay, so if you do want to stick around, I will go ahead and take a look at the extended outlook, and we'll see across the country what it looks like for that next round of whether or not we're going to get some really cold stuff. I have not looked, other than we're going to do it on the fly, so bear with me. And we'll see what the newest data shows. So let me give this a second to get queued up. Okay, so what do we want to do here first? Decisions. All right, let's try the Arctic air. Let's do that first. I want to see where it is, where it's going, is it coming in, etc., etc. All right. So we'll start you off here in the northern plains with it spiraling around. And here, of course, here it comes. Just a little taste here for Oklahoma, if you noticed. And we get and then it comes through for Monday. Now, luckily, this air mass is not as cold as that one we had, a week or so ago. But look at that nasty stuff in Canada. Oh my goodness, but look at it tries to come down here again. See, this is around the 10th? We get just a little bit of a glancing blow, but that's a little stronger than this last one. That's why I'm saying that extended outlook is going to be a little iffy, because I think there's a little better chance of seeing a little better cool down. So that's some pretty nasty cold air here for the 11th of March. Oh, that's next Friday. So let's see, let's go on with time. And then that kind of wraps up on the 12th. So at least it's a quick mover. In a couple of days, gone. And the weekend looks like the 13th and 14th. That looks a lot better. Another little quick shot tries to dive in here on the 15th, but I think we're starting to change here for a pattern, which is good, and it's right on cue. It's March, baby. So what you're seeing is a lot more warm air fighting to establish itself, and more of this cold air gets shunted to the east. So that's kind of how the nation looks overall. Let's take a look at storm structure, precipitation. We'll see if there's any big ones coming our way, and any of that, winter weather too. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so there's the rainfall for the weekend, the weekend Sunday. That moves on off. Let's see what happens after that. Let's see, was that a little hint of some snow? It was on the 12th out there in the Panhandle in southern Kansas. Just a little light dusting. All right, so there's a bigger system there for the 10th with that next stronger front, but we don't get a whole lot of precipitation out of it. Looks like a little light snow there in northwest Oklahoma. So there's a little bit of a snow signal there. Moving through central Oklahoma, some flurry activity looks like for the night of the 10th into the morning of the 11th. So cold, raw, nasty day looks like. And then after that, man, we need some rain, guys. And there's not much there. All right, that goes to the 15th of the month. Let's go to a longer range model that'll take us beyond the 15th. Just to see if there's anything that looks a little bit better than that in extended. So let's see, we'll zip through that period, zip through that one. We'll get to the 15th. All right, now we'll go to the 16th onward. Okay, what's this? That's on the 17th, 16th, 17th. It's mostly east. More cold fronts come in, little glancing blows, and still no significant storm system. This is on March 21st. Boy, see these isobars, how closely packed they are on this particular case, on this particular day, on the 21st. So, hey, about that, right after we start spring officially, it's going to get windy. Let's just take a look just at a forecast sounding to see if we got the moisture coming in, what it looks like at that point, because that pattern looks like it should bring in some moisture at some point. But prior to this, it looks like we've been bone dry. This sounding forecast is very dry in the atmosphere, so hint as to why we're not getting a whole lot of rain in this extended outlook. So we'll see. This should indicate a pretty significant pattern change toward the third week of March. So maybe that's when we'll start to kickstart our severe weather season here in Oklahoma, which would be right on schedule. On average, I usually say from mid-March to mid-June. So that's within the window of how things usually plan out. All right, so that was it for me. Let me jump here real quick on any questions, anything I missed you guys wanted to know about. Didn't want to go too in-depth tonight. Believe it or not, I can do some of these rather short. Let's see. Oh, me and Okie, I hear you. Yeah, you're just going to have... I don't know what's going on. I'll tell you what. A lot of times it's because you're either throttled on your provider, right? Or YouTube thinks that you don't have a good Wi-Fi or good internet. So if it's not giving you 1080p up front, you just have to manually hit that gear button. Same thing for Facebook. So if the pictures are always a little fuzzy, you're going to have to override it. It should be smart enough to know the difference, but maybe sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Let's see here real quick. Let me go to Facebook. So Josh says, time for Oklahoma City rain tomorrow. You're looking just afternoon. So probably about 1 o'clock is the window that opens. And then it's from that point through the rest of the afternoon. Ricky's so late to the party, he missed the whole thing. So he wants to know everything. All right, I'll give you a recap here in a second. Let's see here. Oh, we do have the time change. That's right. I detest the time change, as most of you probably have known. If you've watched me long enough, you know that I am not a fan of the time change. I'm not sure many of you are a fan of the time change. Just stick it and leave it. I'm telling you, man. There's been studies that show it's horrible for us, and yet we do it anyway. I don't know what's wrong with humans. I really don't. Sometimes we do the dumbest things just because it's a habit or because it's something we've done for 100 years or whatever it may have been. I'm just like, man, let's just change it. Let's all protest. We just won't change our clocks. How about that? Everybody shows up at the time that they would have been the day before. How about that? See, if y'all do it, that's how it's done. Anything, if I could say, if it's one of those deals, there's some huge government control. Let's say they're going to take 70% of your taxes, for example. Well, instead of just moaning about it, everybody goes on strike. They won't have any taxes to take. And it only works, though, if everybody goes on strike. See what I'm saying? It has to be all or nothing. So this time change has to be all or nothing. Can't have a few of you rogue people going out there going, let's change it. All right, so let me see. So here's the quick recap here if you missed it. We have some showers moving in across the state tomorrow. They'll start in western Oklahoma late morning. A little bit of winter mix, believe it or not. Some freezing drizzle, light freezing rain, far northwest Oklahoma to northern Oklahoma during the middle part of the day. So watch out, bridges and overpasses up there. Otherwise, a cold rain here in Oklahoma City starting around lunchtime. And that continues through the afternoon. And then, so if you have any plans, keep that in mind. Then any severe weather looks like it could be confined to far southeast Oklahoma. We're talking from a line from Fort Smith to McAllister to about Ada. If you live along that line, then points south, you're in the zone for that. And that extends into western Arkansas, southern Missouri, and northeast Texas. So if you live in that area, make sure you use my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. Now, I do typically try to track tornadoes live. So if I'm available and it looks like tornadoes will be developing, I will be covering those live during that time frame. So all season long, usually when I come on the air, it's not good. When it's something like this, obviously, it is. I'm just giving the forecast update. But when I come on the air during severe weather event, it's because I'm going to track tornadoes. Not because I don't track standard thunderstorms with little wind, little hail. I don't do that because those are a dime a dozen in Oklahoma. As long as you don't go out there and play them, you'll be fine. Just stay out of them. But it's the tornadoes that everybody needs the most lead time for, seek shelter for, and everybody panics about, right? So I'll be your calm voice of reason during those events. So that's why I cover those. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday night. Thanks always for your support, both on liking, sharing this video, liking, sharing the page, telling your friends and family about AT's Weather, using my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, going to the website, AaronTuttleWeather.com, becoming a supporter in any method you choose. You can hit the description tab on here. On this video, you can pick up a Tempest weather station at a discount. You can pick up a NOAA weather radio at a discount, by the way. So many of you have done that. So if you have not gotten a NOAA weather radio, make sure you get one. And also, thanks for the stars. I love those stars, by the way. Lisa's giving me the clapping hands, so thanks, buddy. All right, well, I appreciate you guys sending me some stars tonight on Facebook. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your Saturday night, and some of you I will probably see tomorrow afternoon, evening, if things get a little rough and rowdy in there in southeast Oklahoma. Otherwise, you guys sleep well. We'll talk soon. Take care.